Welcome students, welcome again in this next video lecture series. And the lectures we have been studying related to basic human rights. And in the subject we are going to study, or we have been studying since some days, unit 1, comprising basic concepts like state, justice, equality. These concepts we have already studied in previous lectures, and in this current video we will study the concepts regarding individual, group, and society. Students, we are human being and we gradually develop our personality. But developing personality means we are aware of our responsibilities, roles as a good human being. We are aware with as a good family members, as well as good human being or social animal in the society. And according to this, we have different roles and responsibilities, and these things we are going to study indirectly in this current video lecture, as well as we are going to study what is the process of socialization, individualization. These things will be cleared in this current video lecture. So let us move forward to the next slide. See, individual and society. What is the relation of individual to society? Throughout this point, we are going to study in detail. So these points are being discussed here: society and community, nature of society, difference between society and community, process of socialization and individualization, personal organization. So one by one, we may study these points. See, what is the clarification or definition or concept of individual and society. We know that man is a social animal. We all are called social animal because we live in the society. We are mature. We know some responsibilities and roles, and accordingly we live in the society. That's why we are called as a social animal. So he lives in group, in community, in society, etc., or in group. Okay, then man cannot live as a man without society. Without society man cannot live. Again, without society man's emotional, intellectual maturity, material goods, and his liberty not developed, and these are unthinkable. So the relations between individual and society is not merely a physical or a functional unity, or an organic unity or systematic unity, but it's something more than that. And society not only control our movements but also shape our identity, our thought, and our emotions. Obviously these things we develop not in alone but in society itself. So society, it has background from which this word is derived. Let us see here. Society, this word is derived by Latin word, that is socius. It means companionship or friendship. In sociology, the term society refers not a group of people but the complex pattern of the norms of interaction that arise among them. It means that we live in the society, we are part of group, we are a part of mob, but it doesn't cover the concept of society. But if these things are added there, for example, the complex pattern of the norms of interaction that arise among them, means there should be interaction. If you are living in the mob but you don't have any interaction, communication, then it is not called a society. So McLever has said that society is a web of social relationship. Society is a web of social relationship. So here several definitions of society are given. Let's see. Right. Right. Right, according to right, society is not a group of people. It is the system of relationship that exists between the individual of the group. Another definition, let us see. Gideon Cole, what is definition he has given? Society is a complex organized association, complex of organized association and communication with a community. So previously we stated that it is not only a mob or group of people, there should be interaction and communication. So Giddings, according to this sociologist Giddings, he says that society is a union itself, the organization, the sum of formal relations in which associating individuals are bound together. Means we are bound together, and that mob or group is uh, called society. So see here, nature of society. We observed meaning of society, definition of society. Then what is the nature of society? Society means likeness. One by one, we will cover these points in further slides. Society also implies difference. It is interdependent. Then there is cooperation in the society. So see here, first point, society means likeness. What does it mean? It is an essential prerequisite of society. Means every people likes each other in the society. Okay. Then the sense of likeness was focused in early society on kinships, that is real or supposed blood relationships. Okay, there is kinship. We have family members, we have a joint family or nuclear family, and in that family we have likeness, we have kinships. Okay, so it is a sense of likeness. Then in modern societies, the conditions of social likeness have broadened out in the principle of nationality or one world. Again, society also implies difference. What does it mean? See here, the sense of likeness doesn't eliminate diversity or variations. Uh, Again, society also implies difference, and it depends on the latter as much as on likeness of all people were exactly alike. Their social relationships would become very much limited, and they would contribute very little to one another. Here example we may add here, we have unique cultures, we have our own religion. Now on the basis of these factors we may form our society or community. So we can say it is a nature of society. Okay, so there is a likeness as well as it implies differences. So societies are interdependent. There is interdependency. How? See here, family, the first society with which we all are closely associated, is based on the biological interdependence of the sexes. Okay, means we have our own family, and in that family there are males and there are females. Okay, so it is called and those males and females are interdependent. As a son, we are dependent on our parents, that is called here interdependence. So none of the two sexes is completely by itself, and therefore each seeks fulfillment by the aid of the other, by the help of the other. So this fact of interdependence is very much visible in the present world, and that is the interdependency is called as a part of nature of society. Cooperation. Obviously there is a cooperation in the society, in the family, in the group. So without cooperation no society can exist. Unless people cooperate with each other, they cannot live a happy life. It means that there must be cooperation between two people, between two groups, between two societies or communities. So family rests on cooperation. The members of the family cooperate with another to live happy and joyfully. So community, just we observed the definition of society, nature of society, meanings of society, the origin of society, and next term we are going to study, that is community. So it is an area of social living. It is an area of social living. Whenever the members of any group, small or large, live together in such a way that they share not this or that particular interest, but the basic conditions of a common life. We call that group a community. Okay, so it is a, it, you can say it is a part of society. Society is a wide term, and as compared to society, community is a part of that society. So see here a definition of community. So Bogadas, according to Bogadas, community is a social group with some degree of we feeling and living in given area, means it has particular boundary. Sorry, it has particular boundary. It means that we live in a given area according to the definition of Bogadas. This is the definition of community. So Ogburn and Nimkoff, community is the total organization of social life within limited area. And Lundberg says community is a human population living within a limited geographic area and carrying on a common interdependence life. So see here, Lundberg has given or clarified the definition of community properly. See here, community is a human population, means there is a population available in that limited geographical area and there is a common interdependence life. Okay, that is called community. So as far as definition of community is concerned, there are some elements in the community. So what are those elements? See here, group of people, locality, community sentiment, permanency, naturality, likeness, wider ends, and particular name. So these are the elements of community. So see here one by one. Group of people. Whenever the individuals live together in such a way that they share the basic conditions of a common life, we call them forming a community. Means we have a common life and we live that common life in a group. Okay, then locality, the group of people forms a community when it begins to reside in a definite locality. Okay, and community always occupies a territorial area, that is called here locality. Next elements are community sentiment, means a feeling of belonging together, means we have been, that we word suggests here the community sentiment. It is we feeling among the members. Then permanency, it's not transitory like a crowd. For example, if we join a crowd, it will not live for a long life. Okay, so crowd is temporary and community is a permanent. So it essentially includes a permanent life in a definite place. Naturality, another element of community is that naturality, it's not made or created by an act of will but are natural, means we come together, we don't have a will. We have will, but it is not created deliberately. But for example, we have observed here crowd or mob. We come there, we come together, but we don't have the particular will or intention behind that. When we have ethical, proper intentions in your mind and you come together, it forms a community, it forms a group, and that group with meaningful purpose or intentions, ethical intentions, that forms a community or society. So it's natural. So likeness, there is a likeness in language, customs, morals, etc. Again, it has wider ends. The ends of community are wider. The next element is a particular name. Every community has some particular name. For example, Punjab are called Punjabis. People residing in Maharashtra are called Maharashtrians or Marathi people. Okay, so these are the examples of community. So let us see here the difference between society and community. See, society is a web of social relationship, and a community consisting of a group of individual living in a particular area with some degree of we feeling. For example, we have ward in our villages, so that ward is an example of a community. But if you consider village in wider terms, it will be considered as a society. Okay, a definite geographic area is not an essential aspect of society, but here in community always denotes a definite locality or geographical area. So society is abstract, and community is concrete. Then community sentiments are a sense of we feeling, may be present or may not be present in a society. And in community, sentiment is an essential element of community. So society is wider, there can be more than one community in a society. Likewise, in community is smaller than society. Again, next see difference here. The objectives and interests of society are more extensive and varied. And in contrast to society, the objectives and interests of a community are comparatively less extensive and varied. Let's move to the next point, that is society. Society involved both likeness and differences, and in community, likeness is more important than difference in community. So these are the differences between society and community, and we may further study or discuss or see the process of socialization and individualization. What does it mean? What is the meaning of socialization? What is the process of socialization? Let us see here. Man is not only social but also cultural being. Okay, again, the culture provides opportunities for man to develop his personality. Yes, that's right. Then the development process is not an automatic process. It is a it is social training to the individual. That kind of training is called socialization. Suppose you are living in the society as a social human being, and you are participating in different cultural activities or rituals of the society. So, by side by side, you are developing your personality, and that development, that process of your development, the process of that training that you get through different rituals, different celebrations of your culture, religion, or other activities. Throughout this process, you develop your personality, and that development, that process is called here socialization. In short, you get that social training. So, socialization is a process of modeling a human infant to a member of society to which he belongs. And this socialization is differ from society to society because of this process involves by culture. Okay, because every society has different culture, and according to that culture you develop your personality, or in short you may call your socialization happens. And see here, the human infant comes into the world as biological organism with animal needs. Okay, as a child we come into existence in the world, in that society, and afterwards you develop yourself. So he is gradually molded into a social being, and he learns social ways of acting and feeling. So the process of molding and shaping the personality of the human infant is called here socialization. So definitions of socializations are given here. See, W.H. Ogburn says socialization is a process by which the individual learns to conform to the norms of the group. Bogarts define socialization as the process of working together, of developing group responsibilities, of being guided by welfare needs of others. And Green says that socialization is the process which the child acquires a cultural content along with selfhood and personality. So that is those are the different definitions of socialization we just observed. Now let us see the process of socialization. So socialization is the process of learning group norms, ideals, habits, behaviors and customs. These things we learn in the society, and the process of that learning things in the group norms, ideals, habits, etc. is called here socialization. The process of socialization starts long before the child is born, and the parents' courtship, marital selection, the customs concerning pregnancy and birth. So this is the background of that child. Then whole system of cultural practices surrounding the family are important for the child's growth, but direct socialization begins only after birth. Okay, this point is be noted here. Direct socialization begins only after birth of that child. So there are factors of the process of socialization. There are four factors determine the process of socialization. See here, those are: first one, limitation; two, suggestion; third, identification; and last one is language. These four factors can determine your process of socialization. So see here one by one. Imitation. Imitation is copying by an individual of the actions of another. That is called here imitation. Thus, when the child attempts to walk impressively like his father, swinging a stick and wearing spectacles, he is imitating. Then, imitation may be conscious or unconscious, spontaneous or deliberate. Okay, so this is the nature of imitation. You may deliberately copy someone or not, or it may happen consciously or naturally or spontaneously. So suggestion, this is another factor that determine the process of socialization. Suggestion is the process of communicating information which has no logical or self-evident basis. It may conveyed through language, pictures, or some similar medium. Propaganda and advertising are based on the fundamental psychological principles of suggestions. So next element is that identification. The child cannot make any distinction between his organism and environment. Most of his actions are random. Okay, as a child he behave anyway. He don't that child doesn't know in what way he is behaving in the society. But as he grows in age, he comes to know of the nature of things which satisfy his needs. He gradually identified what he needs for happy for being happy in his life. That is called here identification. Uh, Next factor, that is the process of socialization. Language. Language is the medium of social intercourse. It is the means of cultural transmission. At first, the child utters some random syllables which have no meaning, but gradually he comes to learn his mother tongue, and language molds the personality of the individual from infancy. So these are the four factors of process of socialization just we studied. So there are likewise these elements, those are responsible or that can determine the process of socialization. There are some agencies of socialization. The first is the family, next the school, the playmates of or friends, the church and the state. Church denotes, it is a symbolical word used here, religious institutions. We have religious institutions in our community, in our society, and that is called here one of the agencies of socialization. Let us discuss in detail. So next part is individualization. So it is the process of in which man comes to know himself and acquire the sense of inner responsibility, and it is simply the process of attaining to one's own self. When a man doesn't think simply because of others, do the same things because his own self approves it. So that is called here individualization. Again, in this current slide, we may study in detail what is the individualization. He is carried by his own individuality, which is a quality to him. Again, socialization brings man into relation with others, but individualization makes him autonomous or self determining. The process of individualization is carried not only by the individual himself but also by the society. So, here are some aspects of individualization. Let us see here. Carl Mannheim has distinguished four main aspects of individualization. Let us see. Individualization as a process of learning different from other people. Individualization on the level of new forms of self regarding attitudes. Individualization through objects. Individualization as a kind of depending into ourselves. So these are the aspects of individualization, and let us study in detail one by one. So individualization as a process of learning different from other people. So it compares with other persons. He has any such a kind of different from others. The people isolated from other people develop different types of personality. For example, high mature, over intelligence, shyness. These are the personality attributes that help him to be individualized. Next is the individualization on the level of new forms of self regarding attitudes. So such a new thinking develops within himself. It consists in becoming aware of one's specific character and in the rise of a new kind of self evaluation. He begins to regard his life and character as unique. And here in this slide, let us discuss next aspect of individualization, that is individualization through objects. So the individualization process develop through objects. Some people come to have a fixed feeling towards certain people and objects, and the peasants and the landed aristocrat are more settled in their wishes than the rich mobile type of city, and the family conditions also shape the individual. So these things help to know what is the concept of group, what is the concept of society, what is the process of socialization, individualization. These things we have studied, or we got information about these things in this current video. So thank you so much. If you have any doubt, you may share with me. Thank you.